Yes, it's Friday, the 12th of December. I want to welcome everyone to this meeting. You guys are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is the part two of the EB3 exit visa interview prep. Okay. The reason why I said EB3 is that some of these interviews have different ways that you prepare for them. So I came to the US in 2015 under B1 B2 tourist visa. So that's a visitor's category of visa. So when I went for my interview, so I've been to the US embassy two times. Okay, the first one was when I went for the B1 B2 interview, and then the second one was when I went for the EB3 interview. Let me tell you guys a story. So when I came to the US in 2015, um, I met a lot of people, and after my convention, because I came for a convention, after my convention, some of them started telling me, "Where are you going to live now?" I said, "No, I'm going back to my country. I'm going back to Nigeria." He said, "What? Are you crazy? Why are you going back? Stay here. We'll make it work. We'll find a way, to yeah, find you maybe a fake marriage or something like that, and then you have to stay here and stay for some time. Then you will get your paperwork." Guess what? I said no. I went back. I went back to my country. Some people that said yes, till today, they are still looking for their papers. So, one of the things I want you to appreciate is the green card that you're going to get in this process is precious, is golden. A lot of people have stayed in the United States, I'm not joking, 20 years looking for green card. They're not looking for citizenship. They are looking for green card and they don't have it. But you will have green card on arrival under EB3 process. This is huge. So I want you to value it, and I want you to value the intra visa interview stage because this is where the whole decision is made. I can count up to 7 to 9 people who the decisions they made during this intra phase, destroyed the whole process for them. And right now, they cannot apply to the US for any reason. So that would take me to talk about one particular section. That's how I want to start today. Adoption. Adoption and how to handle adoption. So um, if you really had a need to adopt a baby, it's not a crime. And those babies or that baby is your baby. You have to own it. You have to get every legal document that supports the process. Go with those documents to the embassy. Because these people that I said that I can count right now are people who did adoption the wrong way. They may be listening to me or they may see this video later on, but I'm just using this as a teaching or training purpose so that other people will not make the same mistake. So don't feel that the information you brought, I'm not going to mention name, but the information you brought to me, I'm just using it to like kind of, advise others. So what happened was they went to the embassy. Some of them went with their house helps. The intention was that they were going to come here and at least get somebody to cushion the family dynamics a little bit before. And they never intended that those people will come here and start school immediately. Well, that's what I think, because they had a need to have that child, come help them. So they went with the child to the embassy without the adoption documents. So it was more like I discussed with the parents, they said, okay, so we decided to go to the embassy. So we went to the embassy, they did interview, and one of the ones that was really, really that stood out to me was the one that the child that they were claiming. Sometimes when you want to lie, make sure your lie is straight. Okay. The child that they were claiming is older than their marriage. So let's say the child is like 12 years old with marriage certificate, a birth certificate and everything. But their marriage is like 2 years old or maybe 5 years old. You understand? And who is this, my child? Who is this, my child? Who is this, my child? And the consular officer is a human being, they are not robots. So every information you're giving them, they will process it in real time and make their decision. Okay? So they looked at everything and said, okay, you said this one is your child. And they also look at facial features as well. If it's your child, it has to resemble you somehow. They looked at facial features as well, and then they felt like there's need for them to do a DNA. They sent them for a DNA. When I got that information, I heard that they were sent for DNA. That was the time that they told me. I was like, well, if I were you, I wouldn't go for the DNA because you know what's going to happen. So they went for the DNA. The DNA came out 0% chances of being their child. Now they gave them a document that says child trafficking. So you see where it has gotten to. And then they are banned for life from applying or coming to the United States. Remember, I said United States, Canada, UK, Australia, they all share data. So anything you do with one of these countries, if you want to go and trade or transact with another country, you want to go to another country, if those things are like very, very grievous offenses, that country will be alerted as well in their database. So that's how this person lost the chances. So this is just the one that stood out to me. There are many other ones, adoption cases that went wrong, people not going with the right documents, consular not being very patient because this is like a regular occurrence now with a lot of Nigerians. So please kindly avoid it. Avoid it. Anything that will cause, you have to save yourself before you save others. That's what I always tell people. Save yourself first. Come out and then figure out how you can bring people. There are ways you can bring people to the United States in a legal way. You can have them go and do, get a study, come for a study. And after their study, they can find something to do. All right. So that being said, let's go into the discussion for today, intra-phase. So the intra phase is the time that you're going to go for your visa interview at the US consulate. So I know it has not changed. So all the embassy interview you're going to be having is going to be in Lagos for those that are doing EB3. But for those that are doing like any other categories of visa, like the non-immigrant visa, some of you might have your interview in Abuja. Okay, like if you're doing H1B and you're here, you might, if you want to do it in Abuja, you can do it in Abuja. But for the most part, the last time I checked, EB3s are only handled in Lagos. Okay, so now there in Lagos, you have to go to Lagos like 2 days before if you're not living in Lagos. I'll give you a reason. Majority of you will say, okay, I'm going to go to Lagos by flight. What if there is a weather condition that prevents the flight from flying? You're going to miss that day and you will miss the next day, which is your interview. So plan to arrive 2 days before. Even if it will look like you're, wasting time, wasting money and the rest of them, but I would just advise you, if you don't live in Lagos, if you don't know your way around Lagos, these are some of the things you have to start putting in mind first. Plan to arrive 2 days before. When I went for my interview, I had to find a hotel close to the embassy. But other people that went after me, there were hotels that is in that, I think there's Army Cantonment Barrack or something. They have a guest house or a hotel that they rent out to the public inside that place. So you can as well go there and rent an apartment there. People have done it in the past before and it worked out very well for them. So stay as close as possible to the embassy because of Lagos traffic. So if you are staying in, I don't know names of Lagos and their areas, but I know that there are areas you will stay in Lagos. If you want to commute to the embassy on the morning of your interview, you are just joking. So for those of you that stay in those kind of areas, I would advise come closer. Just one night of hotel, it won't kill you. You have spent in this process. You understand? You have spent so much in this process. So paying that hotel fee for maybe 50,000 or thereabout for one night will not be something that you wouldn't be able to do. Okay? I've said two things now. If you're flying into Lagos, make sure you fly in 2 days before. That one day is just like, insurance. Insurance is just like your own peace of mind. If it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, you're still good. Okay, but I've seen people who wanted to travel, depending on the times and seasons. Sometimes the weather is bad and no flight is going, and unless you have to now risk going by road, and you know what that entails. So please, if possible, fly 2 days before into Lagos, even if it's like a night flight, like evening flight on that last day. Just try it to be good so that evening, the next day is a day before your interview, then you have the day of the interview and then you can come back. So and then find a place, find a hotel close to the embassy where you're going to stay. Are we all following? Is everybody still following me to this point? Let me know in the comment section. If I'm alone, if everyone is following me, let me know. Thank you. All right. So after arriving and settling down in your hotel, one of the other things, thank you. One of the things that you should also start making sure that you have is all your documents and arrange them. The way to arrange the documents for your interview is this way. There is a DS-260 packet that your agency is supposed to send you, or your processing officer is supposed to send you. That's going to be the things that you're mainly required. It has your payment receipts, everything that they did in this process, starting from your I-140 to date. They have to put everything together. It has even your CES report. It has your I-140 petition, approval, and receipts. Everything is there. Okay, they will give you that packet. Inside that packet, you would hold them like that. And then you would also go ahead and print out your DS-260 confirmation form. You know the place where you filled out your confirmation form? You filled out your information for your family and yourself. So that page that says everything is completed and they gave you a number, some of the numbers start with a letter, those ones, print it out and hold. Then the receipt of payment, receipt that you use to make payment for your DS-260 form, print it out as well and hold. These are one of the two things that one of the officers in the embassy is going to ask you for this. Okay, so but before we get to the embassy, arrange them like this. You have your receipt and then your confirmation page. Then you have your DS-260 packet under it, and then you have your spouse document, or other relevant document for your spouse under there, and then you have your children's information. Do not forget your international passport. That's the reason why you're going to the embassy. Do not forget your international passport. It must be handy. It must be in your hand at all times. And when you hold them, make sure you place your own on top, because that's how they are going to ask you for them. Who is the primary applicant? You give your own, you give your husband's own, then you give your children's own. That's how the consular officer might ask you to provide them. Okay, so make sure you have this arranged, have them in a file jacket, okay, and then make provision for your dressing. So what I advise people to dress is just business casual. That doesn't mean that if you want to represent your culture, you cannot dress, or religion, you cannot dress anything. But in order to make sure that you minimize distraction of the consular officer. You understand? We don't want to distract the consular officer. Let them focus on the main thing. Because there's some, the clothes that you will wear, like some people that wear canopy, the canopy head tie. If you wear that and go to the embassy, nobody will send you away, but it will cause a distraction. It will be a source of distraction to everybody. So I would like you to make sure that you wear business casual. Who can tell me like a description of a business casual? Let's see if everybody knows what business casual mean. If you say you should dress a business casual, dressing, what does it mean? Business shirt, trouser. Yeah, something simple like that. Something as simple as just your shirt and trouser. For some of you that have babies, I want to also remember something. So most times they may not allow you to come in with baby food that is already made. So most times you would need to go with baby food and have the water And during our own time, I think we had that challenge that we had to go with maybe milk, and we had water with us, so that when the baby is when we are standing on the queue and baby is hungry, we can just mix it together. But they want to see them separated, not mixed together like that. So if you have a baby, also plan for your baby. Plan for what the baby is going to eat, because sometimes the embassy, a lot of people are there. It might waste a lot of time that day. Sometimes you go is fast, sometimes you spend the whole day. So it depends on how many people they are handling, depends on, a lot of information, a lot of things, affects the way that the interview goes. So make sure you go prepared for your kids, even the little toddlers that you have. You can have something like a cracker, put them in a Ziploc bag, transparent, so that you can be able to pass through security with it, because you will pass through security check at the embassy. Okay, you can tell them that your baby is hungry, you would like to feed your baby inside there. Nobody will say no, because babies, they are this thing. So you can just go with something for them to eat. So I hope you're taking notes. If you're not taking notes, you can go back and watch the video in our YouTube. Okay, now the next thing that I would like you to know, after getting all these documents, preparing, start to arrive early on the day of your interview. Arrive early, because a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen on the day of people. I remember one woman that went to interview with us when we went for interview. So, and then that's another thing. But let me just say this one. This one is very important, and I want you to be. If you have not gone to Lagos Embassy before, I'm just gonna warn you. Okay, there are a lot of 419ers in front of the embassy. I'm telling you why I call them 419ers is that they have actually given people tears, so many tears in this process. So they will see you, don't think they want to help you. They will pretend like they want to help you. They will tell you, let me check your document. They are not embassy staff, or you have not even entered the embassy. You are just at the entrance, like you are the outside the walls of the embassy. People will approach you early in the morning. They will come up with, hey, are you going for interview? Which one? B1, B2? Or they will sound like they know everything that happens in the embassy. In fact, sometimes they will tell you that they have direct link with somebody who is in the embassy, who works in the embassy. You understand? And they will start telling you, oh, your document is not complete. You need to print out. Most of them, what they are after is for you to print with them. Okay, for you to print with them and take pictures, photographs. You might have taken pictures before they come there. They tell you, no, this picture is not the right one. You understand? And then you have to, give them money. They will take picture. They will wait. They will go and wash it. They will bring it out. All those kind of things. So it can waste your time. It can waste your time and make you go late. So please don't fall for it. Do not fall for that. It's going to be one of the things that you will thank me for when you get there. Just before the embassy, you will see so many people. It's just like a marketplace. I was wondering the day that I went there, I was like, why can't the embassy actually like get a police people to take these people away from here? Because it's a lot of nuisance and a lot of people will be deceived. You understand? They are there, like, right there in front of the embassy, trying to deceive people, wasting people's time. A lot of people go to embassy late, not because they didn't come to the embassy early, but because they were there in front of the embassy and somebody is claiming to know everything. And the person is not even in the US yet, but is there trying to correct them and tell them how best to submit their applications and tell them if you ever give your documents to them, your documents can never be complete. They will always find something that they will tell you that is missing. Some of them, they will tell you have to go online and fill a form so that you can get it. How they go about all those things, I don't know. But majority of the people I've talked to have had incidences with them where they wasted a whole lot of their time. So please do not listen to any of them. When you come to that entrance, once you have gone through this video, you've done your checklist with your agency and everything, just go straight inside. Anything you're doing, deal with people inside. It's better you go there and they turn you back than you stay at the gate and waste your time. And then when you get there, then the thing that they're asking you, you notice that they never even needed it. You can imagine how frustrating that would be. And if you come out, you will never see those people again. They've already once they make a lot of money from you, like 100,000 or 50,000, then they are gone. You won't see them. They are gone for the day. Tomorrow they come out again. If they make 100,000 every day, they are millionaires already. You understand? So please, 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 kindly make sure that you don't fall victim of these people. All right, so the next thing that I would like to mention is when you get in, there are some questions that you're going to be asked. But first, before you get in, you'll be submitting your document. I want to create a mental picture of how the process looks like. So there's a place where you go through security. You have to make sure all the things that are metal in your pockets is out so that you can pass through the scanner. And then they would, if you have bag, they will search those bags. They would sometimes they would vet your documents and open them up and tell you what they want in the front of your document and all that. But technically, it's going to be what I've just told you. The page that has the barcode, the confirmation page that has the barcode, and then the other one that you will need is the payment receipt for your interview. All right. Any questions so far? Do we have any questions that we can take before we go over to the questions that the consular officer would ask you? Any question, let me know on the comment section, or you can raise your hand and ask me your question. Question on the ones we've talked about, because we are still going into the main topic of discussion today. Any question? You can raise your hand or you can use the comment section and let's answer all your questions before we proceed. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is going to be very interactive. Okay, so I would like one person to volunteer. If you can do it, that's fine. I would like to ask this question to people. Somebody, maybe I'll ask two per person. So I would like a lot of people to volunteer so that I will ask you the questions that are going to be. These are all the questions that you can expect for your EB3 visa. So come and trial out what you want to answer with me here. So I'm giving you the opportunity to kind of simulate your this thing, your EB3 visa interview. All right, who wants to do that? Use the reaction button and raise up your hand. I'll ask you just two questions, and then we'll be going to the next person. Are we going to be interviewed at once or in badges? No, you'll be interviewed as a person. If you are going as a family, majority of the time, they will just want all of you to come to the cubby, like to the place where the consular officer is. So when you get there, the consular officer, you will greet the consular officer. I will ask you your name, and then the question I'm going to ask you. Then after asking you the question, or even before they finish asking you the question, they might ask your wife and the kids to go and sit down because they don't want everybody crowded in one window like that. So they will just want your wife, just present themselves, and then they will go and sit down. But in some rare cases, they would have everybody stand there and then ask more questions. Even sometimes some consular officers can go to the level of asking the children questions. Is this your daddy? All those kind of things. So if they suspect something, all right, they have the right to do that. All right. And let me tell you, there's no consular officer that has made up their mind that they will not give you visa before you arrive at the window. All of them that says, because when you get there, you'll find out a lot of people that came, you'll be hearing, no, your visa has been denied. Try again. You'll be hearing that, but that's not going to be your portion. Majority of the people that come is based on what they feel in their application and what they answered. That's what makes the consular officer to deny visas. What you answer and what you feel in your application. Can I get one person that I can do this with? So I can get one person out of 80 something, almost 90 people in this room. Just one person to do a mock interview with. Okay, I'll do it with myself then. Are you guys running away from village people? They are not here, okay? All right, let's go ahead. So first question that they're
No,
going to...
I'm available. Yes.
So who is there?
Yeah, Adeola is here.
Okay. Okay, Adiola, go ahead. I'm going to ask you a question, and then you will just provide me with the answer. Okay. Good morning, Adiola. How are you doing today?
Okay. Good morning, I'm doing fine.
Okay. Who is here with you? Can you introduce them?
Yeah, beside me here is my husband and my daughter, Trifina.
Okay, Adiola, who is your employer in the United States? Don't mention, don't worry about that. Let's keep that. Okay. Then the next question is going to
What
be,
says
don't worry, don't worry. I don't want you to advertise any agency. Okay. The next one is going to be, how did you hear about your employer? Oh, Adiola, your network. We have a little bit of reception issues with Abiola. Adiola, sorry. Can we have one?
it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead. How did you hear? How did you learn about your employer?
A friend introduced me to them, a
Okay.
colleague at work.
And how did you apply?
I applied by sending them a mail,
Okay. Do you know their
after
address?
which I had an interview.
Do you know their address in the
Yes, they
United
are
States?
based in XYZ.
Okay, good. I
Yes,
like that. Okay.
XYZ
Is
states.
that where you'll be staying?
Ah, yes,
Don't laugh. Oh. This is a serious issue.
of course.
Okay.
It,
Mhm. It's a serious
yes,
issue.
that's where
So,
I'll be staying.
so sometimes that's not where you're going to be staying. Majority of the time, that's an office. So you're not going to be staying there. Okay.
I was
So
laughing.
yeah. It's not going to be where you're staying. Where you're staying should be communicated to you by your agency. If they have not told you about that or asked you to find accommodation, then you can start asking them, is there any address I can use? You understand? For
Mm.
um an interview. Is there any address that I'm going to be able to use? Okay, they would now ask you what is your hourly rate. They know these things. That's why I'm kind of why are they even asking this?
Mm.
Because these things that they're asking you is contained in the DS260 packets. You filled it in your DS260 form, and they will still repeat some of these questions. So the next question is going to be, what is your hourly rate?
$46 per hour.
Okay, and then I'll just finish everything with you. And then the next question will be, where will you be working? Which area of the hospital will you be assigned to?
The mental health unit of the hospital,
Okay, good.
XYZ hospital.
Nice. How many hours per week will you be working?
8 hours per week.
Okay. And then when will you travel to the United States to resume your work?
January 2026.
Do you have a contact person in the United States?
Yes.
Do you have a name and address?
Yes.
Is your employer providing you relocation assistance?
Yes.
How long have you been working as a nurse in your home country?
20 years.
Okay. Thank you. Your visa is approved. You can talk to yes, you can talk to DHL officer to they would let you know when you would receive your visa, your passports. Okay? All right. So you see, it's simple, it's easy. EB3 is one of the most easiest interview I've ever gone to. They have very, very streamlined process. It's not as difficult as the other ones like the B1 B2. They need to find out a lot of things, your finances, whether you're coming back to your country, how many children you've had, and the rest of them. So this thing I just went through now is when the interview goes smoothly, right? Okay. Now sometimes interview go wrong. okay, interview, EB3 interview, they do go wrong. And I will let you know one of the things that make EB3 interview go wrong. EB3 interview can go wrong if you have actually applied before and you were denied. So if you have applied to the US Embassy before and you were denied, please kindly go and study the reason why you were denied. Most of the time, you will know the reason why you were denied. Okay? If they didn't tell you, that's fine. But majority of the time, you will know the reason because you know the last question you answered. And if you're very, very attentive to the facial expression of your consular officer, you will know when things start going sour in their in their taste board. All right. So I would want you to find out why you were denied and prepare to answer questions that shows that those things that made you to be denied has been changed. Okay. So there's somebody that I was talking to last 3 months, and she went for the interview and she was placed on AP. The reason why they placed that person on AP was because the first application she did, she stated that she was married and she was denied that application then. Okay. She stated that she was married, a different name, a different person entirely. And now she came to the embassy. I think she has kind of forgotten about that interview that she did. And now went to the embassy and they told, oh, this was not your husband. Is there another person that you're married to or you were married to before? I did not say you were divorced. You didn't say anything. You just fill this application as if everything is okay. So they flagged that part of the application and started asking questions concerning the marriage and questioning even whether this particular marriage is actually real or not. So the lady was placed on AP. Administrative processing can be very, very tiring. It can last minimum of 6 weeks and maximum of infinity. Nobody knows. They can tell you you're on AP, they'll hold your passports, and sometimes they'll call you and say, come and take your passport, but you're still on AP. You understand? Administrative processing is not easy. A lot of people have been through it and survived. Some people went through it and did not survive. So I don't want you to get into AP. That's not my intention for you. In fact, the reason why we're making this video is so that you don't get into AP because that's the worst case scenario for an immigrant visa petition. For me, I feel it's the worst case scenario because that AP puts you at you are suspended. You are not down, you're not up. You can't make any plan. You cannot make any tangible plan with your life because you don't know if the visa is going to come out tomorrow. Every day you sleep, if you're on AP, you'll be thinking the visa will come out tomorrow. Tomorrow will come and go, nothing will happen. So some very key, important life decisions you're supposed to make, you would keep on procrastinating because you're waiting for a visa to come. And most times it ends up not coming. So I wouldn't want you to be in that situation or in that position. Okay, so find out why you were denied. So for those people that, for instance, you did that application and you said you were married and that marriage wasn't really true. For some of you, you need to start working on yourself to find out what are you going to say that will satisfy your consular officer that you said you were married and you're no longer married. So I want to ask that question on the comment section. I want to see reply. If you have been in this situation, or if you are the consular officer, let me take this. What can you hear from a person that has feel that they were married and then later came up with another person, they were never divorced, it was a fake marriage, and you found out it was a fake marriage? What can the person tell you to suit you to be able to say your visa is granted? Who can tell me how can you be able to like maneuver and avoid being denied because of your previous application?
Hmm.
Stephanie, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Are you able to join me live? Okay, go ahead. I think somebody wanted to answer me. Go ahead.
I think the person can present a divorce paper or something. I think that would suit the consular officer.
Okay, okay.
from the previous fake marriage.
Okay. Okay, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But let's hear from other people. But you tried. You did a good job with that. Um, But let's hear from another person. You know, when it gets to that point, even the person you did that thing with, the person will start being careful not to even go and state that they were divorced. Because if that person come to the embassy too, his name will be flagged, and he might also be in that situation that he needs to answer whether he was married before and why he was married and everything. Because at that time, all of you are grown. You have your children, you might not even remember. If they ask you, were you married before? The first instinct, because that wasn't even real, first instinct is to say, no, I wasn't married. You understand? So you're already confusing yourself. So if you have ever done things like that, anything that have led you to fill an application to the US Embassy and stating that you were married, please kindly start thinking about a good answer, to give if you were in that position. Okay, thank you, Steph D, for joining. So now, who else can attempt that question? I need more responses. How can one? Someone said, I think to get a legal backup from an attorney that it was fake marriage. You're already like shooting yourself on the leg. If you're able to say it was fake marriage, then there's an issue already. Because which means maybe 50% of what you filled in your current application might be fake as well or false. So you don't want to be in that situation. All right. So let's hear something else, something different. What can we say for people who have gone through this, been through it, and seen it all? If you have experience, let us know.
Okay, good evening, Boss D. I
Good
think
evening.
someone posted on the page last week or there about that something like this happened too. And he said he had to come out straight to the consular. He just said that he was misguided by the agent that helped him fill the previous form. And then he was reconsidered. And after a few investigations, he was granted his visa.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it because the best way in this situation is to shift the blame. You understand? Either you own it or you shift it. That's why we are doing this. So owning it means that it was fake, oh, but now it's real. You have to go whoever that you did it with, let it become real. Let there be an agreement. Let there be some things that states or shows that you guys are no longer married. So that makes it okay simple because there are some things in life that are natural to happen. That's you cannot really avoid it. Marriages, people get together and decide they no longer want to get married again. You understand? So the consular officer is not expecting everybody that is in this process to remain married from the time that you applied to your agency to the time that you are. Nobody is expecting you to do that. You understand? But in the case where you do it, that you're no longer married, please provide suitable evidences to prove that the marriage is no longer in full effect. Okay? That's number one. Or the next thing that you would do, like they said, is to shift. Shift means you're telling them, I wasn't the one application or that application was filled in error. You understand? So that way they will be able to, find a way to, forgive or erase it from their data. But, some of these documents, some of these things are always going to be there. It's difficult to kind of say you are erasing it because once you put it in there, it's there already. So be careful when you mess with the US Embassy website. Some of these things you say, oh, let me just say this and get in. They have ripple effects. They have ripple effects. So thank you for all the people that responded to that. So majority of you got it right. Either you get a legal document to say that you are no longer married, or you shifted to say someone else did it and you were not aware what the person did. But remember, there's a place in your form that it will always bear that you completed the form or somebody completed it for you. How many of you have seen that? I know Some of you have filled your DS260 form. At the end of that form, they're going to ask you, was this document completed by yourself or was it completed by an agent? So if you didn't answer that it was completed by an agent, and then you come out to say it was done by an agent, but you feel that it was completed by you, that's going to be conflicting information and they may not really believe you. Okay, so if it's completed by an agent, the agent should put that it was completed by an agent. Okay, if it was completed by you, the agent should put that it was completed, or you should put that it was completed by you so that you avoid some of these unnecessary heartache. Okay, now the next complications that I've seen on EB3 is complication of you are working in Lagos State, for instance, and you have your visa interview in Cameroon. And they ask you during the visa interview, where are you working currently? Remember my last question. It says, where are you working currently? What are you going to say? Okay. What are you going to say? So you're working in Lagos, for instance, and then you have gone to Cameroon or you've gone to, what will I call it? Gone to another country to obtain a residency permit. So what has brought you to that country? Currently, there is a law that states that you can no longer go to a country and do your interview. You should stay in your home country if you're not resident in that country. If you're resident in that country, fine. But if you're not resident in that country, you should actually try as much as possible to stay in the country that you're resident in and get your interview done. And you people have noticed that a lot of people from Nigeria has been getting so many IDs. And some Nigerians that went to either Cameroon or other countries have some of them, like Cotonou, most people have been on the queue for some time now. It's actually becoming like Nigeria, like the situation that we were in. So some people are not getting ID from those areas. So the reason is because there is a standing executive order that they should first of all give to the last man standing from that country before they can treat a foreigner. But if you have a nationality, like if you have a permanent residency, maybe initially filled in your DS260 form that you're resident in that country, that can be a reason or an avenue that your appointment can be considered and you'll be given an ID. But even though at the end of the day, when you're given an ID and you come, I'm not of the opinion that you should go there and lie. You can also state that, okay, for instance, you do not know that this law was in full effect before you moved your case to this country, because a lot of people were moving and it was originally okay to move before. Okay, it was originally okay. It was on the USCIS website that if you feel that you have been on the queue for a long time in your home country, you can transfer your case to another country. Those times you don't even need to have a residency permit. You can transfer your case, go there, do your visa interview, get your visa, go back to your home country and travel from there. But right now the law is changed. So for some of you that are already in those countries, one of the things that I would advise is just tell them that this whole process of transferring your case to their country was done before the law. If it ever comes out, don't go and answer any question that was not given. If the question was not asked, don't answer it. Even if you think is what the person is trying to ask you, do not answer it. Okay, because sometimes you would answer a question and it will give birth to so many other questions. So do not answer any question that is not asked. But if it comes up and they start asking you, why are you applying? Are you resident in Cameroon? Are you resident in? If they ever go that route, tell them that this whole process was initiated during the time that it was still okay or normal for people to transfer their cases. So by the time that it was now not okay, you have already transferred your case, and that's why you're here. You understand my point? They would have no reason to deny you because you started that application, you started that thing prior to the law that was given. I know somebody asked me this question last time about what they are going to answer, because a lot of people will be faced with this, especially those that have transferred their cases to all these countries and they are not bringing it back. Some of them have interview dates. Please kindly be plain. Do not answer it if it's not asked, but if it's asked, I'm asking you to just tell them the truth. It was done before the proclamation by the president. Okay. Now, another complication. I hope this question is answered very well. I hope it is answered. I'm going to go to the third complication that we have seen on this process. The third complication that we have seen on this process is complication of adding a partner or adding a baby. Okay. Now, if you have been in this process, you would notice that it's now taking time for people to get interview dates. Okay, so if you have a spouse, if you're not married, you started this process, along the line you became married, and then you want to add a baby or you want to add a partner. I would advise you, strictly advise you, the best way to do it is if you have gone through this process, you have gone and gotten your I-140, you have a priority date and all that. The best way to add at that point, from that stage, from my experience, is to wait till the date that you will do your interview, you add in the embassy. You will add in the embassy. Do you know the reason why is that majority of the people that add prior to going to the embassy or being invited or adding in the embassy is the adding of a partner resets your process. It gives you a new priority date. Somehow, a lot of people that have done this in the past that added a baby or added, they will notice that their case complete day will be how will I put it? To be pushed back to the date that they added. I'm not talking about the priority date. I'm talking about the case complete date. Okay, it will be pushed back to the date that you added. So even if your priority date is current, your case complete date will not be current as well. It will not be like, it's not like it's current, but it's not the case that they are handling at the moment. It will not be the number or the date that they are handling at the embassy. For now, let's take for instance, in the embassy, they are giving all the people in May ID. I'm just giving an example. If they are giving all the people in May, they will not give you, because even though you were in May, but at the time you added somebody, it resets your process and then you have a new case complete date. Okay? So that's why I'm saying, take it from me from here. If you have any additional person to add, if you have anything to do that will reset this process, please hold on until you get to the embassy. You tell them you have a new baby that you want to add, and you add there. Remember, if you have not filed your I-140, to not say you're going to skip add everybody before you file your I-140. After your I-140, when you're waiting, you can, if you have a baby, just go ahead, add anybody. If you marry at that stage, go ahead and add them. But once you have gotten your I-140 approval, please be mindful that anybody you add may start resetting your process from that point on. Are we all together? Do we have any questions so far? I think I see a lot of questions, but I'll come to the questions later on. But if you have anybody has any question that you want us to talk about, you can unmute yourself and we'll talk about it. Okay. I've given several complications. I will give more because I have a lot of things that I wrote down, for you guys. I have so many things I want to discuss. So, yeah, is there any questions that we need to answer? I would like you to unmute and ask your question. Or everybody is getting value till now. No question. No question yet. Okay.
I
Now,
have a question.
okay, go ahead. I think it's Amara. Amara, go ahead.
But you said something about if they ask you where are you working since you shifted your everything to Cameroon, and they now ask you where are you working. You didn't answer that question.
Okay, I should answer it. So if they ask you where are you working, you're going to say where you're working. All right? You're going to say the name of the place you're working and keep quiet. If you notice that the person's countenance is changing, or the person now goes ahead to ask you another question, then why are you here? If you're working in Lagos, you're not resident in Cameroon, or you're not resident in Cotonou, why are you doing your interview here? Tell the person that prior to October, that you started your process of transferring your case to Cotonou before the presidential proclamation. By the time it was made, that your case is already transferred, and that's why you are here. You understand? They that are asking you in that embassy have given a lot of Nigerians visa, and they didn't ask them any question. So they know that this is new. I know that people would, fall victim of any new law until like maybe 6 months, or, maybe down the line. When you continue that, then it becomes a problem. But now, as at now, you have that privilege of saying it was all started or initiated before the proclamation started.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Do we have any other question? Any other question from anyone? If there is no question, we would go ahead and continue with the discussion. Who is talking?
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, I'm listening. Give us your name and where you're calling from, and then you can ask your question.
Okay, my name is Chiglo. I'm actually calling from Bayelsa.
Okay.
So I have a question. Let's assume that my husband has a fiance, previously that stays in the United States, and she now filed a fiancé petition, which was not approved by the USCIS before he now got married. So in case when we get to the embassy and they ask him, are you married? Can he respond yes or no? Are you married before? Can he respond yes or no?
So let me ask you, was it marriage or was it a fiance? Because when you say fiance, I'm thinking they are dating, they are not married.
No, they are not married, just fiance. They said the petition was like after 90 days, when they come over to the United States, they will not get married. That was the...
Okay.
But it was not approved by the USCIS.
But it was mentioned, right? So if he's asked that question, he can also go ahead and be truthful about it and say, hey, I was in this situation, things didn't work out, not because it was not approved, but things just didn't work out between us and we went our separate ways. These are natural things. The confidence with which you will say this goes a long way to kind of prove to the consular officer that this is real natural occurrence. But if you are saying this with low self-esteem and thinking of the way that you say it, making somebody think like you're lying, then or you're sinking under the water, why did this question come now? Your heart is racing and all that. No, these are natural. I want you to know it's just like a woman getting married and changing her name. And she goes to a place and say, you were formerly Okoro. Why are you putting Eze? You understand? You will confidently say, I am now married. You understand? So these are phenomena, and they are natural things that happen to people. People get in and out of relationships. So don't be very, very shy about saying how things went. If in fact, if you say it very well, the consular officer might be telling you, oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry that happened. But just be very, very confident in yourself when you're saying that. Okay? So I think, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you very much.
Sounds good. So next question, any other person? Okay, now the next complication of the EB3 visa interview is the complication of people who are frequent flyers, frequent travelers, people who have gone to different countries before, lived in different countries, especially your husbands or even yourself. If you've lived in different countries before your interview, I would like you to start calling anybody you know in that country, especially if you have stayed there for more than 6 months. You have to start calling somebody there to help you to run a police report on your name. You understand? They will run a police report to know if you have ever committed a crime in that country that you have stayed more than 6 months. Because your visa, we know when you are filling your visa, they will ask you, have you traveled before? If you say yes, they will ask you which country, how long did you stay? If any of those answers come up to state that you have stayed in a country more than 6 months and you came back to your home country and you're trying to, that would trigger them to ask you to provide police reports, police investigation, or just to state that you don't have any crime hanging on your neck. Let me tell you, this has delayed somebody that I know because he has been, I think he was in either Germany or one of these European countries. He was there for about a year and 6 months, and he came back. Then that was the husband, the primary applicant, and that delayed their process. In fact, if not that, he was very smart about it to come back that day, that same day, he made a call that country. They did a overnight, and that thing cost a lot of money. They did overnight courier. They rerun the report, did an overnight courier of the report to Lagos, and he did his interview in Cotonou. So they did an overnight courier to Lagos. He had to come back from Cotonou to Lagos to pick the police report, and then go back again to Cotonou to go and submit it. And that woman said, if I do not get you by Wednesday to submit the police clearance report, then I'm going to place your application on AP. And that was like the most benevolent consular officer I've ever seen. Because every other consular officer would just go ahead and say, I'm putting you on AP, and there's nothing you can do about it. But this one was very, very benevolent. He said, okay, I'm going to give you till Wednesday to get this document for us. If you are unable to get it for us, then we're going to put your application on AP. So this guy came out, made a call, made sure that he funded those people. They sent the report, sent it to Lagos with overnight shipping. He went to Lagos, picked it up, came back to Cotonou and submitted it on the Wednesday afternoon to the woman. And when he submitted it, they gave them a visa. So if you have ever stayed in any country for more than 6 months, just get the police report and keep, because it will come up, especially if you have filled it in your DS-260 form. Do we understand that?
Hello,
Hello, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right.
Name and where
Please,
you're joining us from, sir?
okay, I'm Ruben Chido Abba. I'm joining from Lagos.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. All right. I want to find out something. It's actually about my wife, and I'm trying to process NCLEX for her. And she has already finished every of her documentation with, just waiting for her ATT to come out to go and write the NCLEX. But there's an issue. She was working with the Nigerian Air Force Hospital Makodi in Benue State, but now currently working with Lagos State Health Service Commission. But initially, when she began this process, she registered with Nigerian Air Force Hospital Makodi. So my challenge now is this: can she, since she has left that Air Force Hospital Makodi, can she kind of apply maybe to CGFN just to change her hospital? Wouldn't that be a problem for her during the interview?
No, it won't. It's not even part of the requirements for CGFNS to check your experience. They only check your credentials. That's your school, your transcripts. They don't check your experience. So it's not going to be. So
No,
what?
because I heard when you were saying during the interview, they ask you where are you working.
Okay. That's what.
So now that's okay. If maybe from what they have the records of what she used as the way she's, I don't know where they have the records. I mean the record of when maybe she used the Nigerian Air Force Hospital Makodi. Whether they have it in front of them there while doing the interview. So they ask you where are you working. Now currently she's no longer working with Nigerian Air Force Hospital Makodi. She's working with a Lagos State Health Commission. So because of relocation. So I was asking whether if that will actually have to affect, because I want her to change to Lagos State Health Commission to use it as in send another maybe form to CGFN, so that when they ask her that question, where are you working, she can say she's working with Lagos State Health Commission. I
Yeah.
don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm getting what you're saying, but the form that you're going to feel where she's working is still coming. You haven't seen that yet. The DS-260 form is after she has passed NCLEX, gotten her I-140 priority dates, and then she's gotten an approval. By the time she gets closer to the immigration, that's where we want to be careful about all the information we put, like where she's working and all that. But as at now, anything can change. This process is kind of lengthy. So even if the process is 2 months, somebody can be working here tomorrow, you change and work another place. It's not an offense. But the only
Okay.
problem why I mentioned that is that they will be doing their interview in another country. So it just does not make sense for you to say you are a permanent resident of Cameroon and you're working in Lagos. So does it mean every morning you enter flight and come to
Yeah,
work?
thank you, Mr. Lagos.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Most of them will not understand how will you be living here and working in Lagos? Because when you say you're a
Okay.
permanent resident of a country, you have an address there. You understand, which
Yeah.
means you live in that country. So you cannot be living in that country and then working in Lagos. And that work, you will say that you're putting out like 40 hours a week. So which means you're maybe commuting back and forth every day for 40 hours. It's not, it
It doesn't
doesn't.
stand actually.
Yeah, so but it's not now. It's closer to your interview date. That's when you would need to make sure that every information you're putting together they align. You understand? CGF
Okay.
is a lot further down the line. It's not now. It's close to the DS-260 time. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
One of the few spouses that I want to give kudos to that have come up on this show to kind of speak, about their wife process, and I really, I like that. I like when my of involved in the process. Just get involved, help out with whatever you can, and everything will
Yeah.
work out very well. So
Thank you
kudos
very much.
so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Well done. Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
Then next question, Helen. Helen has a question. Helen, you can go ahead and ask your question before we go to the next complications that we see. Helen, go ahead and ask your question. You're muted.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. My
Good
name is
evening.
Helen.
Where are you?
Can
Where
you
are you
hear me?
joining us from? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you joining from?
Okay, I'm from Ibadan.
Okay.
Ibadan, Nigeria. We need to ask that based on your explanation, in the next 6 months, can we say that people should not move their case again based on the new law? Do you get? Hello, sir. Can you get the question, sir?
Yeah. So in the next 6 months, judging by how things is moving now, if you are
Okay.
if you are in our EPG group, you will notice
Okay.
that we are not even interview date is now like NCLEX. I passed NCLEX. When people pass NCLEX, before it used to be a big thing, but now it's not because we have a lot of IDs right now. So many IDs. So Lagos is actually their arms are wide open. So we don't have any need to move to anywhere in the next 6 months. If you have not moved, just stay. The reason why we were moving is because every country surrounding Nigeria was issuing ID except Nigeria. That's why we started moving our cases to those countries to get ID. And we are very, very populated in Nigeria. So we're thinking that even when it gets to us, that they'll be giving it in trickles, maybe 5 a month. There was a time like they used to give like 5 IDs a month. But right now, with what I'm seeing, I think they are giving more than 200 a month. 200 is even a small number. I think maybe 500 because a lot of people are getting it. You understand? A lot. In fact, my messages is filled with I got ID, I got ID. I have not even posted all of them. For this month alone, people have started sending that they got ID. A lot of people have sent me their IDs. So it's no longer a thing. I don't think we should actually worry about doing, but if it changes in future and executive orders last for 9 months, I guess either 9 months or 6 months, if it's not renewed, the order that made that thing to not become a solution for us anymore, the order would also expire. You understand? And then we can as well move at that time. And I will keep on updating us. But right now, it's not going to be helpful or needed anymore for you to move your case because Lagos is doing well to give us ID. Okay? Did you get me, Helen?
Okay, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir. But I'm thinking that with this Lagos issue, they just cleared the people that are already, that are already on the queue. But let's say the same thing happen next year. What do you think we should do?
Yeah, if it happens next year, we will still move, but we are going to consider so many factors before I advise you guys to move. Because when I advised to move, I knew that it was going to work because a lot of things were in our favor because it was written on USCIS website that we can do that. So by that time, we're going to look again and analyze. We can even send emails and see, hey, we found out that Lagos is overloaded. Can we move to other countries? Once we get anything that says yes, you can, then we can go back and start doing it again. Okay? But for now, there's no need. With the way they are clearing things now, I don't think if the visa bulletin move further, many people will still be getting ID. With the way things are going now, a lot of people will be getting ID. In fact, I'm expecting our EPG to be, emptied very soon, and we'll fill them up. So if you are here, you have not written NCLEX, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go and write your NCLEX. Come to Decency NCLEX Academy. We are producing NCLEX passers in droves. We are every day. There's no day that we don't share testimony of people that passed NCLEX. So kindly come, we'll help you pass NCLEX. We have classes, we have the review class. And Ruben, you can as well, chat us up. I'll drop our number. We have our review classes. We have our registration support team. We're going to help you with all your registration. We'll help you with your review. Everything that concerns this process, even after the process, we are still there for you. So just,
Madam, wait first.
yeah, let us know and we can help you.
Hello?
So,
Hello?
So please, I have a question. Don't be offended.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know if you have addressed the case because I was a little busy. I want to ask, as my case, I transferred my case to Lagos. I'm currently in Saudi Arabia. So because of my children or my family coming over to Saudi Arabia for interview, I transferred it to Lagos because at least it will be easier for me to go to Lagos than them coming here. I don't know if it has any implication.
Well, I don't see any implication as well. You can transfer your case to you're a resident of Nigeria, so you can actually transfer your case to Lagos and do your interview in Lagos. The only thing I fear is whether your case is already case. Do you have case complete? Are you current?
No.
Okay. That's good. I think it's okay that you did it now before those case complete and being current. I think it's okay. Whenever you become case complete and you become current, I think you should be able to get it with your mate. But the worst case scenario is that you will have a different date of being case complete. It might be documentarily qualified. That's case complete. When they say case complete, another word for it is documentarily qualified for interview. So if you are not documentarily qualified for interview, one of the things that they consider is where are you going to have that interview? That's part of the thing. How many, that's why when I said if you add a spouse during the process, it changes your date because the date that you became documentarily qualified is after they have analyzed your information that you provided for them, and then they now make you documentarily qualified. You understand? But for the other one, if you was in your home country, you're already documentarily qualified, and then you would continue your process. But if you went ahead and changed something, then the date that you became documentarily qualified will also change. You understand my point? So that's the worst case scenario is that if you were documentarily qualified, the date will change. But now that you're not, you can actually, do that. You can transfer your case, and I don't think it will have any issue. All right. Okay, so let's. Did I answer your
Hello,
question?
sir.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, I
Hello,
have.
sir.
Who wants to ask the question? Can you
This
identify?
gold, this gold from Benin.
Okay, good. Can you give me
Okay.
1 second? I have Omo Pariola that has been raising her hand for some time now. Let's give her
Okay.
the ask after her, okay?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Adiola.
Thank you very much, boss. I appreciate. My question is, what if someone's spouse has been denied before? Like they were planning to go for a visit, and for whatever reason, I think it was a group visa or something, it was denied. Do you still need to mention that, or is that one off? Thank you very much.
Yes, you need to mention it. In fact, there's no how you not even mention. Even if you don't mention it, it's already there in the system. So there's no need lying. You understand? One thing you will notice in this process is that it actually implicates you more than helping you in the process, especially if it's something you have provided before, and then now you're providing a different information. You better have a good backup for what you're bringing on board, because if you don't, definitely you're going to get questions along that line. You understand? So if you say, oh, it was a group, and it can be anybody in the group could have caused everybody to be denied, you know. So if it may be even the people hosting it that was the reason for the denial. So even if they ask you what was the reason and you don't know, you can say, well, I don't know the reason, but I felt it's like the people that organized the trip, they didn't do a good job in finding us, a place for us to be or something like that. You can shift it to someone. Like I said, either own it or you shift it. So you can shift it and say, like in this group one, you can as well, if you don't know, you can as well state that you do not know the reason why it happened, and you feel like maybe the organizers didn't do a good job with providing your information or representing who you guys were, in the application, and that would help as well. You understand? So you would need to mention, no matter what, you would need to mention it. Okay.
Thank
There's
you
no.
very much, sir.
You're welcome. So, Gold, it's your time now to ask your question.
Hello,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so my question is this. I know that you are aware that I think since the beginning of this year, the contact that one has with the embassy, as in the Lagos embassy, is now twice, in which you will go for a document, an in-person document review, and then you now go for your major interview. Now, what I want to find out, for the in-person document review that one goes for to review your documents, there used to be a letter, an interview letter that will be sent to you for that. Now, for this letter, are there any things that one needs to still upload again
Upload. No, you
for
just
this?
need to come with the letter. There's nothing you need to upload. You just need to come with the letter to the embassy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Because I was confused when I was going through it, and I was seeing some certain things where you need to upload something on this, their ceac.gov website and all that. So I was wondering.
If you have any document that has not been submitted in that cac.gov, then you have the opportunity to do it after your document is reviewed. You have opportunity to go and add.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Yes.
But as per
Okay.
what you need to do is just to go with
The
that
letter.
to the embassy. Mhm.
All right. It's
All
okay.
right.
Thank you very much.
It's gonna be fine. Trust me. You are already.
Thank
Ah,
you very
you're welcome.
much.
You're
Oh my
welcome.
God.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
let's see. Jegun. Jegun, you can
Yes,
unmute.
good evening. Good
Yeah,
evening. Calling
evening.
from Abuja. I
Okay.
recently I applied for US visa, the B1 B2 to go write my NCLEX in the US. That was last year. So my date for interview was January this year before Trump canceled the rules and regulations concerning the B1 B2. So I couldn't go, but I wrote my exam in Kenya in November, so I passed. But now I have the B1 B2 visa. So I'm contemplating that I already have an interview date that's set for January. So I'm like, should I still go for the interview if I'm going to start this whole um
Process.
DS 260 process? Because I already have my DS 160 process already going. I already have a date to go for the interview. So I have a job I'm actually working. So I'm like, will I waste money to go just spend 3 months when will I leave my job in Nigeria to go waste money and spend 3 months there and come back without notice. So I'm considering, should I leave the interview? Because I already paid
For
for
it.
the DS-160. Should I leave the interview, or should I still go for the interview and just, even if they give me the visa, that's fine. I can just keep it. But will it still affect my DS-260 application if when I want to apply another time? So I'm really confused about that.
Okay. Now let me just ask you, Jagun, don't unmute first. I have two questions for you. Do you have
Okay.
something? Do you have something like very important you'll be coming to the US to do, like convention or something that you can switch it to? Because I know you
No,
already.
my plan was to just go and write the NCLEX and just spend that time. I just finished my NYC. So
Mhm.
I was just like, I hadn't gotten a job. Let me just go there and write
Right,
my NCLEX and spend the next 3 months while in the wait time. But
right.
now I've passed my NCLEX. I already
Mhm.
have a job. So why will I go and while in wait time without anything to do? So I don't have any conference. I don't have anything I'm going there to do.
Yeah. And in your in your B1, B2 application, did you put that you're coming to write NCLEX?
No, I didn't even put any information about. I just applied like a normal applicant.
Yeah, normally you have to state why you're coming.
I just said that I'm coming to spend time with family.
You have family here.
Yes, I do.
Okay. If you still want to spend time with family, then that's fine. You can as well go for the interview, and everything still stays the same. You understand? You can go for the interview, you can get the visa. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you can, stay back. But for me, I wouldn't, if I were in your shoe, I wouldn't bother. Why? Because I don't want to risk denial. That's number one. Number
That's my
two
fear.
is, yes, number two again, because the temperature of the government in authority now in the United States, you really need to have a good case to come, and you need to have a good ties in your home country. You understand? I don't know if you're married, if you have kids. You said you
I'm
just
not
finished.
married. I don't have kids. I just have my mom and my
And
brother.
you're a good candidate for people who will come here and not want to go back. So that's what they would think. They would think that you would come
But I have
and
a good job here though. So I'm like,
yeah. So the ties are five. I think either five or four. I don't know if I can remember all, but these ties are kind of things that make them they want to like give you visa. Number one, if you're married, is a
okay.
good tie. Number two, if you have children, is another tie. Number three, if you have a good government job, not just a good job,
I
good
have that. I have
government.
just one.
It's a good government job. You understand? It's a good tie. Assets. If you have assets, like a lot of assets in Nigeria, like
Okay.
people like OGBONNA, they cannot come here and say they will not go back. Those kind of
Yeah.
yes. And then the last one is if you have a business, a
I
viable
don't have
business
a
that,
business.
that needs. So these five things must be there. If you don't have these five, in fact, you must be scoring like 4/5 or 3/5 for them to
Wow.
even consider you. You understand? You should have it. You should be married. You should at least for them to actually think that you will not run. You'll be married. You have a child that you're going to live in this place. You're leaving your children. Some people they go with their children. They want to get the visa, but they have something here that will bring them maybe a big business or an asset or a government job. So they can come with their children, but they are coming back. They cannot leave those jobs.
Yeah.
So there are things to put in
But if
mind.
I don't go, will it? Because I know that anything I apply for
So
will actually be on my database. So if I
exactly.
don't,
So
and
what
when
you
I
will
apply for
do.
DS260, they will ask me that why didn't I go for the other one I applied for?
No, what you do, go and cancel the appointment. Okay, so that you
Okay.
create
Oh,
space for
okay.
people. It's better than just leaving it that day. On that day, you have already occupied somebody's space, and you didn't
Okay.
come. And so it's just like you wasted everybody's time. So it makes a lot of sense to cancel it. And then on the date that you do your DS260 interview, you will tell them that something came up. You know, you don't even need to mention what came up. Something came up, and you decided not to go again for that
Okay.
time. You understand?
Okay.
Or with that kind of visa, I wanted to now pursue this one. So
Okay.
nobody,
Thank you so much. I will definitely be applying through you guys. Thank you.
okay, we'll be waiting for your application. All right, thanks. I think I will have a few more hands. I have Chinonye, Rosemary, and Ijoma, and then Maria. Then we'll go and read comments and we'll share a few more complications of EB3 and then we'll end it there. Okay. So let's see. Chinoye, go ahead with your question. We are listening, Chinoye. Rosemary. Okay, Ijoma, go ahead with your question.
Okay, good evening, boss.
Good evening.
Yeah, so my question is, I don't know whether I will call it a complicated one. So I have a problem presently. I don't know whether it's going to be a problem for me. That's why I'm asking. So my husband, me, and my children, we are not bearing the same name. So I am when I married my husband, they are bearing one particular name, okay, and that is their great grandfather's name. So when he married me, he wanted me to start answering his own father's name. He wanted me and his children to start answering his own father's name, okay? So that his father's name will be brought up, will be carried along. So he's answering their great grandfather's name. Me and my children are answering his own father's name. So when I wanted to do passports for my children, so they were like, that it won't go, that I'm going to have a problem in the embassy. That me and my children, that there should be a connection between me or my children, between me and my children and my husband. So we now decided to adopt, give my children the first name of my husband. So it now became a compound name. Like, let me say, Andy, Andy Okeke is the compound name, Andy stroke hyphen Okeke. So they're now bearing his father's name and his own first name so that there will be a connection. But why me? I am bearing his father's name. He's bearing his great grandfather's name that the family has been bearing for a long time. So now my question is because I heard of somebody that went for interview of recent and had similar name disparity, and they put them on AP and asked them to go and do DNA. My heart has been racing. Like, I'm not getting myself. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Okay. So I want to tell you, like, with my own, I'm gonna give you example with my life, okay? Because that thing happened to me. So when I went for interview, okay, when I went for interview, my wife was still bearing her median name, okay? And then my children were bearing my name. So my son's name is Brian Decency. Decency is the last name, okay? And then Brian is his first name. And then my wife is bearing her name from her, that her parents gave her. And I was bearing the name that my parents gave me. So we had scattered names in the family, and it was a problem. So it's actually a problem. I'm happy that you brought it up because when we had our interview, that's one of the things that the consular officer was pointing us to. One of the favors that these consular officers can do to you on that day, if they decide to move ahead to give you visa, they ask me, do you want me? Do you want us to regularize your name so that your wife will bear your name and your children also will bear the name that you want? You understand? And we said it was okay. You know, that was one of the mistakes that we made because when we got to this country, we started trying to adjust those names, especially the one of my wife. Guess what? By the time they accept it in the Lagos embassy, it becomes a legal name in the US. So for me to change my wife's name to my name, as in, to change her surname to Decency so that the whole family will bear Decency as last name except me. For me to do that, I have to go to Social Security. I have to go to USCIS for the green card. I have to go. There's a lot of places you have to call. In fact, even post office, driver's license, everything has to change. And it's not a small process. Some of them cost as much as like $800, $900 for you to do it. So if you have opportunity right now and your names are not together, these are the good opportunity for you to make them the way you want it and go to the embassy with it like that. If there is any one of those names that require you to bring a document supporting it, like newspaper publications, or you need to bring things like what is it called, like affidavit of change of name, just get those documents and have it handy. You understand? If you do it and get them together the way you want it, it's better because once you are approved a visa here, it's going to be a name that you will carry on, and there's no need to change names. Do you know the time that we had another opportunity to change names in the US was after 5 years when we went for our citizenship. That's the time that they were like, okay, now you have an ability to put in anything you want again because every information will be changed. You're no longer going to have a green card, and we can always send you another social security card. You understand? And then you will change your name and it will be in your passport, your US passport. So that's how it happens. So if anybody is here that your name is not regularized the way you want it in your family tree, this is a good time to do it. And if you want to do it in Nigeria, start with your passport because that's the one that might take time. Go to the passport company or passport whatever, have them do that change of name for you there, and then you can now, take it to the embassy. Okay, Steph D is responding, and I would like her to speak to this. Steph D, if you are free to talk, you can actually throw more light because I know you face the biggest brunt of this issue of changing names. Ijoma, I know you had more questions, but let's see if Steph D can throw in one or two words. Steph D, are you there?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you,
Yeah,
Bossy.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, the change of name thing was a big thing actually because one, just like he said, I had to go with affidavit of change of name. I had to get newspaper publication. I went with those things on the day of the interview. So, and that was what prompted the man to ask us if we want to change the whole name to Decency or leave it the way it was. And we didn't think of my registration with Board of Nursing when we were doing this and Nursing Council Nigeria and all that. So the man changed the name to Decency. But I haven't written NCLEX at that time because I was planning when we come over to US, I will write my NCLEX. But it became a problem with Board of Nursing, you know. Board of Nursing is bearing my middle name. Now this name is this. When I send something to them, they'll be like, this name does not correspond. So I had to start doing change of name again officially here in US. And I sent them all the information that they needed for them to update my last name to Decency. So it was a long process actually. Yeah. Thank you,
Very
sir.
long. Thank you so much. So if you are in that situation, it's better to tidy everything up right now in your home country than having to come here to do it. Okay, so if your friend even that was, told that they were going to be placed on AP, it's better they work on it, get it the way they want before they come. Is far more, is better for them. But in order for you to not be placed on AP, just get everything ready. Go with your documents to prove that these are who you are and what the names that you want to answer, and it should be fine. Ijama, go ahead.
Yes, I've gotten what you said. But the names we are bearing now they are the names that we want to continue with. My
That's
problem
fine.
is whether it's going to be a problem in the embassy because I heard that the other lady they asked her to do DNA. We don't ask him to do DNA. I not get money. Oh.
So wait. If the name that you have was the name that you filled in your application, and it is the name everybody in the family is answering, then there will be no problem. There will be no problem. You understand where the DNA was, why they asked them to do DNA was that the children were answering a different name and they were answering a different name as well. So it's a cause for concern. Okay, so let's go to the next person. If is your question answered?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks. Maria, let's have your question. Spending much time again today. Maria, are you there? Maria is not there. Let's have Chinonye. Chinonye, you can unmute. Chinonye is not there. Let's have DOR. Okay.
Hello.
Boss D, I'm here. Boss D, I'm here.
Okay,
Good
go ahead with
evening.
your question. Go
Good
ahead.
evening, boss. Please, my question is on vaccination.
Okay.
Yeah, if one is not documentarily qualified yet, what is the appropriate time for the person to comment on vaccination?
There are vaccines that are required for you to take them prior to coming to the United. I think about three. I can't remember the three of them. But every other ones, you can take them as soon as you file for your petition. You can, take those vaccines. But there are ones that are supposed to be taken close to your exit from your home country. You understand? I will find those three and post it in the exclusive pre-arrival group. There are three important ones that you should take closer to departure, but other ones you can take anytime. All right?
Boss, considering the way things are going now,
Mhm.
someone who is not yet case complete, is it appropriate to start any of them at all?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
when one?
Yeah,
Okay.
if they are not required for you to take them, if it's not like the ones that are required for you to take them close to your exit, then yes, you can take them anytime.
Okay, thank you, boss.
You're welcome. DOR.
Good evening, Boss Decency.
Good
Please,
evening.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
go
thanks
ahead.
for your time and all you do. My question is as regards my spouse who has applied for study program to the US twice, but was denied visa and wasn't told reason why it was denied. So in a case whereby we are going in for an interview, how do we make mention of that or state it out to the consular? Because he is thinking, being that he has an ND, but he didn't state he had an HND, but his application was on the ground of going for a degree program. Then the gap of the period he applied and the period he gained his ND program, the consular was asking, okay, what has he been doing in that period? So he just mentioned he's been working, and nothing was said for that, and he wasn't told the reason for the denial, and this has happened twice. So that's why I'm asking the question. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So a lot of people face this kind of situation as well. Like you have applied for a study visa before and you were denied. Study visa and immigrant visa are not, and the EB3 are not in the same category of visa. So there are two types of visa. You have the immigrant and non-immigrant visa. So the study visas and non-immigrant visas, they are not intended that you come here. It's just like B1, B2 visa, visitors visa, all those categories of visa that you are supposed to come here, stay for some time. So a lot of factors come into play. Just like I was telling the other lady that you need to have a lot of ties, like about 5 ties and the rest of them. So there may be very obvious reasons why that was not approved. But I think the thing that you mentioned might be one of it because if you have done a degree program, that's one thing I used to tell some of my people that want to come here for study visa. I'll tell them you cannot just come here and study the same thing you have studied, get another degree, even though in your mind, some people think, yes, I want to get a degree from United States, United States of all, I want to get the same degree, but the consular officer will be seeing it as waste of money and that you're not being truthful of why you're coming. Because if you are really coming, you should be thinking about advancing to the next cadre or the next level instead of just going for the same thing that you have. So that might be the reason. But if you present this as a reason for trying to go to the United States, sorry, if that as a reason why you were denied, then you are not also solving the problem if you cannot present that one. So what you should concentrate on is in proving to the consular officer that some of the things that made that visa to be denied has already changed. You understand? Which is, for instance, if he has gotten other degrees, So, for instance, I was trying to go for study in XYZ country and I was denied, but I went to Madonna College or university and got another degree there. So that one has already closed the chapter. I have already fulfilled my mission of going. You did not give me, but I've already gotten from somewhere else. I don't know if you're getting what I mean. So something
Yes,
that,
sorry. I just want
Mhm.
to put clarification that he's never had a degree. All he had was also an ND and HND. So his
Okay,
application was to go get a degree there.
the
But
degree.
he didn't state that he had an HND. In his application, he only stated he had an ND.
He only stated he had an ND. He did not state that he
Yes,
has an HND. Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Yeah. I think they may have obvious reason why they denied, but for me, it might just be centered around degree. Why is it a degree? But I know people that come for masters, they have a bigger opportunity of being accepted for programs here in the United States. So it's all left for the person. I don't want us to concentrate on why it was denied, but what we have done after then. You understand? So, for instance, if I'm the one going for this thing and I don't even know why it was denied, if they ask me why do you think you were denied, I would say, well, I didn't know. I don't know why they denied me the visa, but obviously, currently I had another job that even if I had gotten the visa, I would have had to go to that job instead because I had a job that came up that needed me, just something to show that there has been a change, that is not the plan anymore. But this is actually if you are applying for the same kind of visa. But that's why I'm saying that these are two different types of visa, so it won't really hold water. Whatever that made them to deny that visa will not actually come into play in this immigrant visa. Number one, he's not the primary applicant. Number two, whatever that is, concerned with that visa approval is all on the non-immigrant side. But now you are talking about immigrant side, and he is not the primary applicant. You are the primary applicant. So there is every opportunity that he might not even be asked question about that. The questions might be centered on you. So, but the next complication I'm going to bring out is a very big one, and that's the one that most oftentimes would always result in calling or bringing the spouse to come and answer some questions. Most of the times, most of the spouse do not answer any questions. Like the dependents may not really answer a question on the embassy, but the primary applicant will. But in the complication I'm going to mention next, those ones the spouse must be brought to the window, and the spouse must answer a few questions. Okay, there are two of them, two very big complications that I want to mention. That if you are in that category, you should just try as much as possible to find something that you're going to say that really makes sense. Okay. So I don't know if I answered your question, DOR, but for the most part, it won't come up because it's a different category of visa. They won't be able to, bring that up to this one. All right. So Ruben, you have a question, right?
Yes. My
Yeah, go ahead.
question is, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. It's about this. Thank you very much for in fact, you've been so helpful, and then I've been listening to all what you've been saying. I think they are very, very, very important to we understand these things. My question is about me. My son name is Ruben, and my wife bears my name, and my children also. I'm Chido Abba. They bear Chido Abba, their own son. That's my own direct name, and my own name is Ruben. So I don't know if that is going to be an issue.
No, it's just like me. My first name is Decency. My children's last name is Decency. So they are answering my name. So it's the same thing. It's not
Okay,
going to be
including
an issue.
my wife is also answering my own name too.
Yes, it won't be an issue.
All
It
right.
won't be an issue. Sometimes the consular officer may be surprised. They'll be like, "How did that happen? Did you marry somebody that is answering you, or she just changed?" And you just explain to her that, well, in your culture, that from time to time, you people kind of bring out people's names so that their surname will be, remembered in history. You understand? So that people's name will be remembered in history. So surnames are changed and they won't have any problem with that.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate so much. Thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks. All right. Steph D, go ahead.
Mr. Ruben, just make sure that she does change of name officially. Get affidavit of change of name that corresponds with your first name. Like if they're answering Ruben as first last name, make sure she does a change of name showing that her last name is now Ruben and it corresponds with your kids. Also, let her get newspaper publication, all right, that also shows the same thing so that during interview she can present it.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? The last speaker. Now,
I can hear you.
she has got the newspaper publication, changing
Mm-hmm.
from her own media name, that's her father's name, to my own name. And all my
Mm-hmm.
children bear my name. But I
It,
bear my father's name, which is Ruben. I don't
it's
know if you
not a
want to.
problem. It's not a problem. That's exactly what we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all the documentation, everything is the document, everything is handy.
Yes, that's fine. Then you're good to go, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Boss D.
Thanks. All right. Now, I saved I saved the best for the last. And this one has been causing a lot of troubles. Okay. Some people, they have their husband in the United States. Your husband came here on B1, B2, and they are living in Nigeria. They've not seen their husband for a long time. This is one of the complications, okay? Your husband is in the United States and your husband is now an illegal immigrant. And you know this government is very, 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 how will I put it? They are very, very, very furious or angry with illegal immigrants. Okay, so this is an advice I want to give anybody that your husband is here, your husband has become an illegal immigrant ever since he came here. He doesn't have papers to work or anything. And wait, let's see. All right, so now, if your husband has been here and has been out of status, one of the things that you should do, and you are applying from Nigeria, and you are trying to include him in the process, your including him in the process is not going to help. I just want to mention that your including him in the process is not going to help. And I'm going to tell you because I know most of you that have been in that situation, even though you're still married, but some of you, your husband, some of those people, let me not say, maybe they are not here. Some of those people, their husband has kind of done a temporary divorce agreement with them so that they could get their papers here. Okay. Even if that has happened, that has happened, bringing the case that that name used to be your husband is always going to bring up a question. Why has he been in the United States and not coming back? Especially if those husbands are trying for you to put them in your case, for you to kind of get your paper so that when it's not going to help anything. It's a different thing altogether. So the best scenario that I have seen this thing play out is your husband has to be himself and you have to be yourself. You know what that means. Until you come to the United States, then you will reunite with your husband. Please stop unmuting the microphone. I want to be able to finish this meeting in peace. So you would come to the United States, and when you come to the United States, you can now work on trying to get him added to your case. Like I always say, you have to save yourself before you save another person. If he has been here and is out of status, the best thing to do in order for you not to spoil your own process is to make sure that you're not including him in your process. Patricia, oh, my auntie, how are you doing? Go ahead, you have a question.
Yeah, so
How are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
Fine, fine. Thank God. All right. Go ahead with your
Please,
question.
please, it's still on this issue of change of name.
Mhm.
Um, my husband and the kids, they have the same name, and I want to maintain my name. So I don't know whether it will be an issue because I have other things in Nigeria that bears my name that they don't want me to change it. If I change it, I will lose on that part.
Mhm.
Know whether it will be an issue at the embassy. If they ask whether I want to regularize, I think I will tell them no.
Mhm.
I will show
It
them the certificate because I have my marriage
marriage
certificate.
certificates, yeah. Yeah, just have all the documents, like what we said. Just have all the document, marriage certificate, everything that supports that you're married, pictures. We discussed it last week. Have everything that supports your marriage. But if you want to still keep it like what you said, bearing your own name, it's not a problem. Steph did it before we came back. Even though her reason of doing it was because we already applied for Board of Nursing for her to take her NCLEX and wanted her to take it here in the US. So Board of Nursing has a different name. We didn't want to change because once we change now, then she will not be able to go for the exam because you need to present like a driver's license or international passport. So we didn't want anything. We wanted her to kind of, okay, go and write your exam first, and then when you come back, we can talk about that. But it cost us so much money. If we had known, we could have done the change of name before her NCLEX even, because that wouldn't have even been an issue here in the United States. So for me, I would say you can still come to the United States with your name the way it is. There won't be any problem, and they won't ask you to do a DNA because it's your choice. If you decide to answer a name and your children are answering another name, is just your choice. They won't ask you to do anything like that. Okay? So we did it, it worked, so it's still gonna work. A lot of people that I know, I can count so many people that did it as well. But let me tell you, all of us, when we came here, we started looking for ways to revert and make everything to be regular. I don't even know why we did it. It's not like anybody, I wasn't telling Steph D to change your name to my name. I really paid your bride price. I didn't do that. You understand? But at some time she wanted to, she just wanted us to answer the same name as a family. You understand? So yeah, at some point you will still want to. Yeah, but I understand you saying that you don't want to do it now. You will still be okay. You will still be fine. You will still get your visa. Okay, ma?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now the next one I want to talk about is people who are married to ex-convicts. Okay, people who have come to the United States before, they've been to jail. I've seen this. That's why if I'm talking from experience, and I'm not looking at any paper. So these are coming from within because it's something I deal with every day. You understand? People who are married to people who have been in jail before is another complication. Is a big complication depending on what the reason the person went to jail. If the person killed a person, if the person did drugs, now the person has repented, person is changed, or the person was into money laundering. In this country, it's very easy for you to get into money laundering. Very easy. Somebody can just come to your house. Say, you see, I did a business, I made $100,000. Can I keep it in your house? Once they leave, police with blue light will land in your house and say, money, money, where's the money? Before you know it, you are part of the corporate. You understand? It's very, very easy. So people who are innocent have been in this situation in the past where people who do drugs, just sold drug on the street, gave them money to hold, and before you know it, those monies are traced to them, and they go to jail, and then before you know it, they come out. And when they come out, they deport such people to their home country. Majority of them are deported to their home country. Let's assume they are deported and they find love in their home country. And that love they found is a registered nurse, and the person wants to come to the United States. For sure, they will be able to, the girl is eligible to get a visa, but you see that person that was already deported, depending on the terms of the deportation. That's why you have to ask these questions very well before you actually choose to say yes to someone or not. You understand? Because depending on the terms of the deportation, if it is a very grievous offense that they have told the person, never you ever step foot in the United States, like a ban, never ever come here. That marriage is not going to solve the problem. If that girl wants to come here, the guy is following just to spoil the show for the girl. So I'm just gonna say if that's the situation, if that's the case, it's better for the girl to not even approach the embassy than to approach the embassy with someone who is already banned from coming to the United States. It will not solve any problem. And you cannot even go there and say, give me, I don't give my husband. Even if you say give me, if you don't give my husband, sorry, if you go there and say if you don't give my husband, I will not take your visa, then that so be it. You will not get. You understand? So please, if that is the situation, if that's something you're passing through, you might need to seek legal counsel. Like you might need to talk to an attorney or talk to someone who knows better about the crime you committed or someone who can appeal the judgment of those crimes before you even start your application. Because if those crimes can be appealed in the court, even though while they are still being in the appeal process, then the judgment may have another ruling and that may make it favorable for you to come. But if it remains like that you're banned from coming to the United States, you won't be able to, no matter what. So these are some of the complications I've noticed, and I've been able to run through some of them. I'm just hoping that some of these things help you in your interview process. You know, as you approach the embassy with a smile, approach the embassy, sorry, the consulate with a smile. The consular officer is just a human being. The skin color is different, but they are just a human being. Same anatomy, two eyes, two nose, and one mouth. So do not be afraid when you get into that place. It's just a human being you're going to talk to. And the visa you're applying for is a merit-based visa. It's not I beg to apply kind of visa. It's a merit-based visa. And let me also tell you, you're coming to the United States to help the United States with the health crisis that they're having. So you see yourself as a giver of care, not a receiver of help when you are in the embassy. When you go to the embassy, change your demeanor, change the way you see yourself, change how will I put it? Change your countenance, you understand, so that you'll be able to reflect the true nature of who you are at the embassy. Go there with confidence, answer the questions with a smile, and receive your visa and come to the United States. And when you come here, when you finish your contract, Virginia remains the best state. So I want to see you in Virginia. When you come to Virginia, you enjoy 15 minutes to the beach, 15 minutes to the beach, and a whole lot of other stuff. Opportunities are endless. You know, many hospitals, many industries for your spouses to work in. There's a lot. There's a lot. I encourage you. There's a lot in Virginia for you. So I'm advertising Virginia. The governor of Virginia should actually come and give me some award. Yes, for those of you that actually, signed up and for me to get the True Merit Award, I'm so happy. God bless you. I'm very, very excited. A lot of people, before I woke up the next morning and the EPG group was filled with everybody saying that they have done the application. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. And if you have not signed up, I'm going to put the link on this meeting. When I post it, I'm going to put the link there. Please go ahead and sign up and let them recognize me and give me an award. That's how I get paid. All right, but I just want to say a big thank you to all of you that did that. I'm going to take a few seconds, like 10 minutes, to read through the questions. In case there's something we are missing there that we can gain from, I'll read through the questions and see what we have on the question. But before I do that, I'm giving you 1 minute, Ruben, to ask your question again. If you still have another question, you have 1 minute to go through and ask your question before we read all the question on the comment section. You can unmute, Ruben. Hello, Ruben. Okay, I think Ruben does not have a question. So now let's go through the questions that we have on the comment section. Now, somebody is asking, can rice be carried in small food flasks for toddlers? Can rice be carried in small food flasks for toddlers? I would think yes. The highest they would do is they will ask you to test it. But I would think yes, you can. But just to be very safe, if you have things like juice in transparent bottles or things that, fluid that they can just eat. It's just going to be like max 6 hours that you're going to spend there. It might not even be up to 6 hours. That interview is the shortest interview that you ever go to. You go there before you know it, you're out. A decision is made. So, yeah, you can do that. But if possible, just go with something that is fluid. All right. So in terms of direct hire employer, is hospital or agency name because of the agency that introduced the hospital to me. So the employer is your agency. Okay. Employer is your agency. The place of assignment is the hospital. You need to know these two things. The employer is your agency. The place of assignment is your hospital. So agency means that they are covering a lot of hospitals. I can be an agency here and I have 10 hospitals I'm sending nurses to. Okay, so employer is your agency. The place of employment is place of assignment is your hospital. Now, if it's a direct hire, then the employer is your place of employment, a place of assignment. So the employer will be the same as the place of assignment. Okay, somebody said, Amen, may it come to pass. Okay. Um, all right, so the next question says, yes, the answer is too close-ended, yes or no. What if the last denial was for a conference in a group? I've answered that, I think. We've answered that if it's a conference in a group, then you have every right to say you don't know what the organizers feel, you don't know how and why it was denied. So because maybe it was denied in a group. But if you were singled out and denied, it could also be possibly because of what you put in your application. So that is something that you need to think about. Okay, if some people were giving, some people were not giving, then it becomes an issue. You need to think about why, what could be the possible thing, and how has that changed? It's not bad that you were denied, but what has changed ever since then? If it's something that you could change to make yourself more relevant to the United States, have you done it ever since that denial? That's the question. Okay, when they ask who is your contact person, please call names and address too, or also show some seriousness because the visa officer know they smile for anyone. This is coming from somebody who just went for interview. Okay, she said she was placed on 180 days AP. Are you seeing that? That's why I say AP can be a hellfire in this process. Okay, but it ended in praise at last. So she got her visa. Congratulations, Choma. I am so happy for you. God, I told you that God would do this, and then to God be the glory. It has actually happened. Congratulations. Okay, she was also here last week and she told us she was going for her interview. Now she has gotten her visa. We are so excited for you. So, and the next person is May Obani. She said, if you are placed on AP, will they tell you that your visa is denied? No, the AP is not denial. AP is like you are being investigated, and a lot of things will come into play. Also, one thing that I didn't mention is your social media handles. Sometimes they will want to know your social media handles. If some things are kind of awkward about you, they want to go and view your social media handle. Sometimes also, when the visa consular officer tends to go take all your documents and go back without telling you anything, there are people in different desks in those places where if they need to investigate somebody real quick, give your documents to them and they can actually kind of check, are these documents authentic? Is this the kind of document you have in Nigeria? Because most of those people, they are not really like Nigerians, so they would have to liaise with people in that office that would tell them this is authentic, this comes from National Population Commission, this is this. So they will be the one to go there. So don't fret, don't be anxious when they take all your documents from you and they don't talk to you. After asking you questions, they just collect some documents and go inside. Don't fret. Just still have your smiling face. What we used to say in NCLEX is that so far the questions are still coming, you're still in the game. So it's still the same thing. So far you're still standing there. They've not told you to go. You're still in the game. So put the best of yourself out there when you go for that interview. All right. So your visa is not denied. Yes, it's temporarily refused, and that is the truth. I say, can a person say they were not legally married? Well, yes, you can actually say that if you do not have any document to prove your marriage. You can say Yes, we were not legally married, but marriage is marriage, whether it's legally, whether it's two people marriage, whether it's three people, whether it's two people coming in agreement, it's marriage. But for the most part, if you have been in any marriage situation before that was fake, try and start figuring out how you are going to, go about telling the right story. Okay? And let your story align with it. Like it should actually be something that will be consistent, because if it's not consistent, they might call you, ask you that question, you answer, and then go and they put you on AP. In the next 180 days, like she said, they call you back and say, aha, you say something about marriage, and then that thing comes again. Remember, whatever you said was noted. If you say something that is not in alignment with what you said before, it could be a reason for denial. So anything you should be saying should be consistent. It should be the same. If you have started lying, continue lying. I'm not saying you should be a liar, but anytime you move away from anything you've said before, you should be able to say the right reasons why you are changing. You should actually have a good reason for doing that. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. That's from Steph D. Say, I think to get yes, I think that was what we said as well. Get legal backup for marriages that you have actually claimed in the past. I would say more filed. I would say someone filed the first one. Yes, that's what we said before. So please mute if you're not yes. So what if she claims the first person is dead? And yeah, you will provide death certificates. You will. If you claim death, then the person will have to provide death certificates. Okay, so be ready for things that will follow. All right. So I think it's better to be truthful. That is true. Just be truthful from the first time. If you are here, you've not actually been in this situation, thank God for you. Do not actually, wish to be there. It's not a good place to be. Okay. Okay. Is the person not, is the answer not too close-ended? Yes or no? Or should one give details? You don't go to too much details. Please, in your embassy interview, please, so many details, it leads to so many other things. Please, if they ask you a question, answer the question and don't just keep it minimal. Please, this is not IELTS that you are going to score mark for giving details, okay? Yes, most of the questions might be yes or no. You understand? If it's yes or no, say yes. If it's no, say no. Do not give a lot of details. Those details might actually lead to AP. Okay? So don't give a lot of details. Do they add dependents in the I-140 stage or during the payment of visa fee? That is the MVC. So if you have not filed your I-140, you can add your dependents. You can, state, okay, this is my people and everything. They can ask you questions about your family situation on that. I think it's called ECA form. Yeah. So if you have that, you can have all those information written there. Okay. But if you have not gotten to, excuse me, if you have not gotten to NVC stage. NVC stage is another place where they will also ask you about your dependents and all the people that you wish to be coming with to the United States. So you also mention it there at the NVC stage. Okay. What of women who's older than her husband by some months, but the husband looks older by looks? It's not a problem. People marry husbands, men marry people who they are older, that are older than them. So it's not a problem to be lesser in age. The only problem is where you guys married. Do you have any kid? Are those kids really yours? That's the thing. Is it a real marriage or of fake? And some people can be very risk takers. I've seen people who took a lot of risk, got through it and maybe it worked out for them, but I wouldn't advise you to try any of this stunt. It's not good. All right. So some of these things that we mentioned, some very key important things that we discuss on this show, we discuss them on an unrecorded version of this show on Saturdays. On Saturdays, Steph D is the anchor of that program. If you want to be in the mentorship group with Steph D and me, reach out to her. Her number is in the exclusive pre-arrival group. You can reach out to her and she will add you. But make sure that if you're reaching out, you have already reached the level of case complete. If you're not in case complete, there's no reason applying to be in the mentorship group because you'll forget everything we are teaching you. Things we are teaching there are very key pillars of being successful in the United States. You cannot be successful in the United States while you're still in your home country. So we want you to be as close as possible to the time of your departure before we add you to that group. Okay, so try as much as possible to reach out to her if you want to be in the group. All right, so you are mixing the two up. Yes, I think you were Munachi was trying to answer Ruben. So I think we did that. Florence was saying, so my question is, I passed NCLEX since August and my agency is like until I get a job offer, they cannot file for me for I-140. What can I do? Leave. If you did not pass NCLEX with them, please kindly leave immediately to an agency that will file for you immediately. I don't like it when agencies waste time in filing. This is your precious time. And this is the time that when the chips are down, the time that is recognized in this whole process is the date of your filing. That is your priority date. You understand? So as long as you are not filed for till now, somebody that wrote NCLEX today and gets filed for today will get to the United States before you, even if you have written since August. So that's why I'm saying if you are in that category, please find a way. If you are not, if you did not write your NCLEX with them, find a way to appease them, let them give you a release letter and get someone that would, file for you immediately. I'm standing by the truth. I know most agencies will see this, but I stand by the truth. If you get a nurse that did NCLEX by herself, please don't keep that person for 2 years or 1 year before you file for them. Just file for them. File for them and let them be in the process. Let them get ahead in the queue. You understand? That's the best thing to do. It's a fair thing to do. So what can be changed anytime? Yes, what can be changed is not a crime. I have a question. Good. I think I answered your question. So please, if someone's spouse has been denied visa twice, I think we answered that based on study reasons. Yes, we were able to answer that questions. Yeah. So we answered that question. All right, so we answered that question. So can you help with the link? Yeah, so the link for Mr. Ruben is just to reach out to that number on WhatsApp, and then you'll be added to the group where you get all the information about Decency NCLEX Academy. Yes, so let's see if we have more. Okay, is it a problem to maintain one's name? No, it's not a problem. You can maintain your name, it's not a problem. Yeah, so my friend's husband recently moved to the United States. They were legally married before husband filed as a single on his document because he wanted his offer to sail through. Now my friend wants to apply for NCLEX and move to the United States. Should she also fill her document as a single? She's already single as far as I'm concerned. If her husband left as a single, yes, unless, because if you provide some document, your husband went to the United States, has not come back since then, and you cannot come and state that you are married to your husband and you have document when your husband is already. So that's why I'm saying if you lie, you understand, please avoid that situation, avoid it, because more of it, one lie will give birth to many other lies in a very short space of time. You understand? Very short space of time. See how this issue will go now. How this is going to go now. Okay, so the husband has moved to the United States and filled in the application that he was single. And then the wife is here. Both of them were married, but the husband decided to go as a single person to the United States. Now the wife is about to start her own process. The husband, if the wife says, okay, I'm going to go by the truth. I'm going to say the truth and say I was married to this guy. You understand? If you say that, you will spoil whatever he's doing here. That's number one, because if that case is being x-rayed, if it is investigated, it is considered lying to a federally constituted authority in the United States. It's a crime. It's a big crime to lie to a government institution in the United States. Is a capital offense. In fact, you see all these forms that you fill and they say yes, say no, say most of them, if you're filling a form that goes to the government and you say yes, say no, where they're not supposed to be yes and no, you have lied to the federal or government authority, and it's not taken slightly. It's not taken slightly. So that's what I'm saying. If the wife come as a single, she might sail through. But if the wife states that he's married and states the man's name, then it will be said, okay, when did you marry this guy? Since he came to the United States as single, when did he come back to marry you? Okay, that becomes the question. And from there, it will lead to more questions, and that will not be good. Okay, so always stick by the truth. Like somebody said in this, it's better to start off from the start off by saying the truth. Just say the truth. Don't but since it's already like this, you have to come as a single too, because your husband already is single. So you are not married. So you're single too. So you come here as a single and you guys can reunite. You can reunite and become husband and wife. But as far as I'm concerned, both of you are single right now. So she has a child. She has a child. You see, she has a child and would want to move to USA with him one day to join the husband. That is it. See, it gets so complicated along the line. Okay, so just seek legal counsel. But for me, from what I've seen from my experience, that I'm saying, it's better to remain single and come as a single mother and raise your children. Can someone port back to Nigeria? Not gotten a date yet. Yes, you can come back to Nigeria if you have not gotten a date. You can port your application to Nigeria if you have not gotten a date. I and my husband answered their father's name, but my children are answering my husband's name. Hope there won't be any problem. There will not be any problem. I have a question. It's from Ruben. It says, just that there is a message saying that the facilitator is not allowing me to unmute. Please help me to unmute to ask my question. I will help you to unmute. Let me go through all the questions, then I will do that. I had some people went for their medicals and were asked to present their medication prescription. What for? Is that to deny their visa or what? So this is medication prescription. Depends on what medication they're asking about. Are they asking about if those people are treating something already? That's another thing. If they are treating TB or hepatitis, they might be asked to provide prescription for that. So you need to find out what are they treating that they are asked to provide prescription. Okay. So how do we join? You join by contacting Steph D. That's on her number. I'm going to type her number, and then you can reach out to her on the EPG group. Please, when you reach out to her, provide evidence to show that you are case complete or your ID, because we want to make sure we are pouring into people that are coming here, not just anybody coming to occupy the group. A lot of people have tried to. It's a private group, very close. I don't think we are up to 100 yet, or maybe we just reached 100 on the group. But I like it like that because everybody comes for meeting, and that meeting is always very insightful. So try as much as possible to come. All right. So please, how do we correct a date of birth that was a mistake in it for a dependent? Well, in Nigeria, you can correct it. I think you just need to go to the headquarters of those people that are concerned and tell them where the mistake is coming from, and they will be able to help you. I've seen people that corrected date of birth, but where it becomes a problem is if you change your date of birth in order for you to work longer in public service, and then now you want to change it back to what it is because your international passport is bearing a different date of birth, but your nursing license is bearing a different date of birth, so it becomes an issue. I've had to crack my head on how to do that a lot of times, but the bottom line is if you have such situation, just go to these bodies, go to nursing council, go to the passport office and see what they can do for you to put everything together. All right, how can I talk to you directly? Mine is not EB3, but EB2. Okay. EB2 is a category of visa for spouse. I think it's people who come here on special skills. Yeah, we can talk If you reach out to that number that we pasted, I'll paste it again. The 7, what is it called? 7110. The number that we posted, yes, you can reach out to that number and then we can talk on that number. Okay. Now we would let Ruben ask the last question and then we'll be done for today. Ruben, go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much. I appreciate so much for your numerous explanations. Yeah, I have two questions. So number one question is, I got the information that the NCLEX, I don't know, the NCLEX that by next year will be written that one can stay at home and online and write the NCLEX. How truthful is that? And would it not lose its relevance? And
No, no, no.
secondly, okay, you're talking?
Yeah, go ahead. Ask your second question. I'll take both of them.
The second question is, actually, we were with an agency that was processing all this thing. And at the time, we just have to back out for one reason or the other. But now we are processing the program on our own. I don't know if it's going to be something that we need agency, maybe during the time of applying for interview. Maybe do we still need an agency to continue processing, or can we still continue with our own? I mean, the way we are doing it, for
Yeah.
job or not something.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to need an agency at some point, but most times I advise people to do the process by themselves because it moves faster if you're doing it, and then you're more serious because if you're putting your money into the process, there's no how you will be joking with it. Okay. So I would
Yeah.
advise you to go ahead, do the process. When you pass an NCLEX, then you can choose any agency. You can choose the top tier agency, like the one that is everybody is recommending. You can just go and choose that one because you have the ability to make your choice. Not that you're stuck with an agency that wouldn't fly for you. For instance, like I was reading, some agencies would tell you, oh yes, you have passed your English, congratulations, but we don't have a job. You have to wait. Somebody passed since August. Some people have been with agencies for 5 years now. Some, I think either 4 or 5 years. I know an agency that is in Nigeria that has kept people for more than 5 years, for instance, and has not given those people not even a single application. Not that they don't know how to do it, but they're just not proactive. You understand? So it's just a matter of you being able to choose who you're going to work with. So if you do the NCLEX by yourself, you have the ability to choose who you want to work with. And I think that is the best thing about this process. So now that you're out, remain there, write your NCLEX and then choose who you want to work with. Okay, and what was the next question again? What was
Okay,
your
the second
second
question
question?
is about this NCLEX saying that by next year
Oh,
one
yeah.
will need to.
Yeah, we
How
all we,
truthful is
we
that?
all had we all had that, but we have not seen a format. Proctored exam is a thing here in the United States. A lot of institutions are doing proctored exam. It doesn't mean that you can people are going to be watching you. They will from wherever they are, they will install something in your computer that will search to detect anything that may be like an AI or anything that will help you to cheat. Then before you write your exam, they will make you have like maybe 3 or 4 cameras or 2 cameras that would, one will be watching the room where you're writing it to make sure nobody enters and nobody leaves. And one of the things that will start happening is if people choose to do that proctored exam, a lot of exams will be canceled. And some people may even be banned from writing the exam because people would like to cheat. And when you do that and you're caught, you might be banned from taking the exam for life. So we don't know how the process is going to work. We are still looking at them to see what the format of the proctored exam is going to be. But for now, it is just a hearsay. We have not really heard the processes for it to be done. Okay.
All right, thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
Decency. I appreciate so much. Thank you very much.
Okay,
All right.
we've come to the. All right, thank you so much, Ruben. Just keep coming. I noticed that you are still new in the process, so just keep coming every Friday. You will learn a lot about this process. Then you will understand how everything goes. Okay, I don't have time today to break down the processes for you because, yeah, you will get it by the time you come frequently for this meeting every Friday. All right, did you guys get value for
Thank you.
today's meeting? If you got value for today's meeting, please kindly go to the comment section and type value for me. All right, as you're doing that, I want to give a special thanks to Steph D for joining me, and thanks to all the people that use the mic to ask their question. Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you, is it Joy, Adore, and then all the people that asked their question. Ruben, thank you so much for finding time to join us in the meeting. Chinedu, everybody that asked questions. I'm so happy that you guys are here. I wish you guys the best. I can't wait for you guys to come to the United States, to come to Virginia. Okay, let me keep saying it in your ears until it becomes a thing. Okay, so when you get here and finish your contract, come, we have a very big, large, growing population of Africans in Virginia here. So, and it's making sense to me now how we are going to be grown, like we're going to be so grown in the coming future. That's my earnest expectation, to see that we populate this place with our people that look like us. All right, so please kindly come for this meeting, and let's keep reminding ourselves of the process and how we can, get through it. Next week, we are going to do the post, and post is a lot. There's a lot that comes into post. I might not be able to even finish post, but I'll scratch the back, I'll scratch the surface, and I will refer you guys to Steph D in her group, so that you people now can actually gather everything that you need to gather for the process. But thank you so much for being here. I'm going to drop the number that I said, Chigozie, I'm going to drop the number for you, the number that you are to contact if you want to register for the I think you want to register for the class, right? No, if you want to talk to me, okay, so 346-370-7110. So you can private chat me on WhatsApp, and then we can talk, okay? All right, thank you so much, everyone. Have a blessed day. We spent 2 hours, 25 minutes. Come on, we tried. Thank you for staying to the end of the show. I will see you all next week, Friday. God bless you, and bye.